The Preservation Board is now in order. Good afternoon. Dave Warren. I'm going to call a roll, see who's here. Commissioner Fassler, are you here? I'm here. Okay. Commissioner Colleen, are you here? Present. Alderman Commissioner Schmidt, are you here? I'm here. Commissioner Johnson, are you here?
I am here.
Did I miss any commissioners? Okay. Commissioners, has anybody read?
I have. Move to approve.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of approving the minutes, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, those are the minutes. Commissioners, have you seen the agenda?
Yes.
Anybody have any changes, additions, subtractions?
No, sir.
Okay, then barring that, this will be our agenda, and we'll proceed with 5766 version.
Everybody, Bob Bennett with staff.
Hello, Bob.
We'll tell the truth as usual. First off, we have a new construction over in Tinker of Oliver. This is the site in question. I go through the slides quick, then we'll go through the ordinance. Contact, it backs up to Parkway, Mount Pershing, track, run to the north, as you can see, Laurel Street to the west. Very intact block, you should know, very intact block, one of the people along there. Here's the contact, the upper left is the whole at the site, the bottom picture on the left, very wide to the building looking east. We have a mix of styles, roof types, along the area, so it's a varied block in terms of its built environment. One more shot. We're looking at here. Another block more, you have larger apartment buildings, stuff like that. Here is the north side. Front will be brick. Brick will be turned on the side of the piece. There will be a monitor portion which is set back at the top where you can see section of a monitor. This will be covered in a hardy panel, painted red to match the brick. It's pushed back away. So it's not right at the front, so it kind of gives a look of a two-story, but that'll kind of give a sense of a roof line. If you look back at the contact, we had a lot of false dimensions along there, so it kind of gives you a sense of the height along it. It kind of has that. Here's the side plan. It's a side entrance, so one thing it's lacking really, it lines up with the building line, but you're kind of missing that front porch portion, but it does kind of belong with the building line. The contact shot, we worked with the architect to raise it up so the fenestration all lined up. So initially it was a lower building, so we had to raise it up so your window levels all lined up. We did that, and we appreciate that. Here's the side. We have a brick return, and then the side has hardy siding. Some sort will also mention the brick. The rear. And the other side, again, you have a brick return at the front. So we have a sight line from the street to see the brick. Here's a rendering showing the building. Again, the color will match with the block. It won't stand out for the show usage. The other thing you'll see that's unusual area is the porch treatment. It's a wooden little siding to serve as the other entry porch area. That's kind of the main thing that will stand out for the street and show usage. Also, the siding is also not really used in the area, however, being painted dark color to blend in and not would stand out. Okay, so to go through the standards, in terms of height, it needs to be within 50% of the average height of the block, which it does comply with. Location and setback, it does comply with that as well. The material usage, it does comply mostly. Again, the wood on the porch and the siding is nothing you see in the area, but again, the color you kind of wash out the siding and the wood isn't all that bad. The details of the building comply. Again, the window proportions, steel materials, so all complies with the standard. The roof shape complies with flat roof. There's a flat roof on the block. Roof materials that complies with flat roof, so that's not a big deal. Fencing complies. Fencing is not applicable. You have a letter from Tinker of Oliver they are fine with the design overall. They did have 3 issues, like, that I'll have to look at. They just, as talking points, they wanted to know if the owner could wrap, show you real quick here. Go back to the resume. What they're looking for is, they want to know if they could wrap the front porch around to kind of give a reference to the porch from the block. They also wanted to know if they could make this window larger, window right there larger, and then they also had an issue with the top window being vinyl. You can't really see it from the street, it's going to be an issue. And again, staff's fine with the proposed design, so these are the overall, they like the design, so that's the record.
Question?
Finally, given that, we recommend that the board grant temporary approval for the proposed construction. Condition that design be developed as proposed, and design details be reviewed and approved by our office.
Question? Yep. Okay, there's no one here to testify. The applicant is present. Anybody have questions for the applicant? Okay. Is there a motion? Okay.
I represent the applicant, so I should probably recuse myself from the vote.
I think maybe you should.
Motion to approve the proposal, condition that the design be developed and proposed and the design details be reviewed and approved by the commission.
Second. Motion made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Commissioners, we are now going to reconvene to hear appeals of director's denial. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 commissioners present, constituting a quorum. Calling 4942 to 44 on the first day.
I have all the items and I stood spot. Okay. Next up, first of all, we enter in ordinances 64689, amended by 67925 and 67175, and also the Central West End ordinance 69112, my PowerPoint presentation, everything else. Okay. We have an appeal of staff denial to wrap sills and brick molds at this building in Central West End. The stop work was done. It was noted that one day I was out and saw a crew wrapping all the side windows on all the sills and also installing shutters in the opening on the side without a permit. So as stop work was placed, the owner applied for a permit, which to get exception to the standards to retain what's been done. Central West End's rules pretty much prohibit any wrapping of brick molds and sills. It comes down to that. I think it's a total of 14 windows. That was the application. Might be more. The owner may want to speak to that. We have a total of 14 wraps, windows and sills that cannot approve of. So again, go through this real quick. Here is the contract, the map. Here's contact. And again, the side windows, the ones that were wrapped. I believe some were wrapped before on the west side, but again, if you unwrap, you can't wrap it again. So will apply to it regardless. And this side faces a parking lot. The shutters are allowed as long as they fit the opening correctly and do shutters. However, they did that just for rest. I do not have an official letter from Central West End, but I spoke to Jim Dwyer from the committee, and he said he supports the staff's recommendation. And we do recommend that for a full denial of the application does not meet the present standards.
Is there questions? Okay. The appellant. Come on up. Start right away. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
For the record, tell us your name,
Charlotte Castillo, Castillo.
where you live,
4942 McPherson.
Is your testimony going to be the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you are appealing a director's denial. What is the reason, what is the nature of your appeal?
Well, I take it that the issue is the sills rather than the shutters. I wasn't clear on that. First of all, I just wanted to point out that on the slide to the right, all of the wrapping was done on either side. Nothing was done in front. And I have to say that I wasn't aware that I couldn't wrap the sills because at the time I was just trying to match the sills to the shutters, which I replaced. There were vinyl shutters already there, and they were deteriorating. I got some pictures of those if y'all want to see that. But I did want to point out that on the slide to the right, that is like a story and a half up, and then the second level is the second story. So it's very difficult to see or be able to tell by standing on the ground what exactly, whether it's painted or wrapped. And then on the other side is a gangway between two houses, and it is completely in the dark all the time. I got some pictures here if y'all want to. I don't know if, I think Bob had a picture of it, but...
I mean, just hold back up for you.
Yeah, I just want to make a point that...
You're welcome to say anything that you want as evidence.
Okay.
With,
Yeah, well, this is the view. These are kind of sticking together in the quality of my printer. So I'm sure how to pass it down. But my point is that there are, well, I'm not sure. Let's see, there are 3 upwards windows on the second floor, and then on the main level, there are 3 shuttered windows and 3 wrapped sills on the main level. And that is in, like I said, the gangway between 2 buildings, and it's impossible to see them from the street, as you can kind of tell by looking at that picture I sent around. So really, nobody sees it but the mailman and me, and like I said, at the time, I was just trying to do an aesthetic approach that would look good, rather than having the sill, other than the fact that I didn't know I wasn't supposed to wrap the sill. So, there you have it, both sides of the house, and it's my contention that the 3 that are on the east side are in the dark all the time, and it's certainly not visible from the street. And then the ones that are on the side are very high up. And I've got, if there's a question about the fee, I've got a bill here, if you're all interested in that.
I don't know what you mean.
A bill for the work that they did, because what happened was the stop work order came right at the end of what they were doing. They do have about, I think 3 or 4 more sills that they haven't wrapped yet, but the ones that are on both sides that are visible to the street were wrapped. And I have the price quote for that, if anybody's interested.
If you'd like to submit it as part of your argument that complied with the ordinance to create a financial hardship for you.
Well, I do have the fee here. I guess it's a hardship insofar as that I hate to put something up and I'm going to pay to take it down, and then I'm going to pay to do something else again. But again, I'm not sure if it's just related to the sill, could be a sill thing. But my printer was...
Is this the first book you've ever done on your house?
No.
Have you ever applied for a permit before?
Yes, I think my husband has.
And did not,
I thought it was for, any sort of alteration, especially to the front facade. I didn't realize it would be for a replacement of, something like the shutters or, and then the sills, I didn't know.
Also the brick mold, not just the sill, it's the brick mold that goes around. Not just the sill, brick mold that goes down.
Yeah, I asked my contractor about that, and he said some of the windows didn't have brick mold. I don't know what that means, except, I guess, because it was renovated before, and the windows, it was renovated 25 years ago, and at that time, they put up vinyl windows, and I don't know what happened to the brick mold, but he said some of it wasn't there, so I'm kind of not sure about that. I mean, I'm sure you're right.
We couldn't tell if they were wrapped. I mean, they were wrapped, I couldn't tell. Just regardless of,
Yeah.
do you have an estimate on what it would cost to bring the windows into compliance with the ordinance?
I do not. I've got the quote for what the work that has been done so far.
If you'd like to give that.
Yeah. Again, my printer was printing correctly, so.
And nothing's been done to the front facade since 20 years ago.
Nothing's been done to the front.
Planning on?
Yes, painting, please. Painting, yeah.
Commissioner, further questions?
So, thank you. The window you were talking about in the gangway, there is a window that appears above an side entryway. On that picture behind you or in front of you, there's a window, looks like it's right above the porch area.
Uh-huh.
So, was that one wrapped?
yeah, but not the brick mold. I believe the start, that was when they were doing, I got out there on the site. That was begun.
Okay.
Can't tell the finish. I believe they started not.
Because that window...
Yes, that doesn't get a shutter. The only shutters are on the windows that are not, windows anymore.
But that window appears to be very visible from the street to the one.
Well, if you look at the, picture I handed around, like I said, it's that part to the left there that's, but yeah, I guess you could say that it was.
No, sir.
Anything else you'd like to add to finish out your record?
No, not really, unless anybody has some questions.
Good question, that. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
On your ward.
I move the Preservation Board uphold the record denial as the wrapped window signal includes do not comply with the centralized district standards. But make an exception for the shutters that this is one that we're looking at.
Jeff, you want to? The motion on the floor, anyone second?
I'll second the discussion.
Okay, what do you think?
Well, I do live in that neighborhood, and I walk by there, and, it's on the front, the back, and they're not, the work's already done before she, embarked on this project.
We don't have the full ordinance here, so does it make any difference whether or not it's visible from the street?
No, you do not. Not the wrapping of the silver brick mold. That's any silver brick mold. Do not do that. No requirement. Brick mold and the sills not be wrapping. Not differentiate any certificate.
Have any letters from the Central West End?
Again, I spoke with Jim Dwyer, who says staff, they recommend staff, they don't have a letter to invite Dwyer.
Nothing from the Alder?
No.
The motion on the floor is to overturn the director's denial for all but the visible window in the gangway, and to uphold the director's denial for permit for that window.
Question, I thought on the other side of the building, the back side was visible. So I don't know next time.
Actually, there's two of them in there.
Oh, there we go.
Right side.
Because the slide.
So, this motion passes, what happens to that?
I understood, she was to be saying that the alley would stay, but the one that faces the alley and the angle towards the street. Right.
I'm going to call a roll on this motion.
So this side is visible, stay like.
Okay.
So, Bob, so what we're talking about is the sill and the brick mold, not the shutters.
Shutters that can comply, yeah, you can install shutters on the side, as long as they do fit the opening frame. But the issue is the wrapping of the brick mold.
Let's either approve this or not.
Sure, I agree.
Commissioner Johnson, you vote yes or no?
No.
Commissioner Schmidt, you vote yes or no?
No.
Commissioner Galene, you vote yes or no? No. Commissioner Fassler, you vote yes or no?
No. I agree with that.
The motion on the commissioner's motion fails on the commissioner's no vote. Commissioner Fassler, give another motion to make.
No, I would like to.
Commissioner Schmidt.
Well, I would uphold the director's denial, except, well, the shutters are already permitted. Except for allowing windows to remain as a brick molding and the on whatever that other side is.
On the east side?
On the east side.
Gangway?
East side.
But one that faces the street.
Except for the one that's over the porch.
That commissioner knows the motion you meant to make originally.
Yes.
So a second to that motion? Yep.
Not clear on it. Question though, so we're granting an exception, suing against the ordinance, based on financial hardship.
If I understood the motion, it was based on the fact that I...
But that's not the ordinance.
Correct. This is exactly not what the ordinance says.
So we're sending a message to that district.
We are.
There was an education. I did that didn't indicate that.
Okay.
But I think there would be unnecessary caution. All of this is around the some other items and some hardship.
Barrett, ordinance argument. Okay, we'll vote again. Commissioner Fastline? Yes or no?
Yes.
Commissioner Killeen, yes or no? Commissioner Schmidt, yes or no?
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson, yes or no?
Yes.
That motion carries. The director's denial is partially upheld and partially upheld. Calling agenda item D, 2215-17, Indiana. The box shall continue.
Okay. 2215, Indiana. Enter in ordinance 64689, amended by 67925, 67105, also ninth ordinance 6792. We have two issues here with this property. Windows and then the door. One thing is a violation, which is the door without a permit. And the second issue is an application to install windows on the front facade, which are vinyl mechanical. With the slides, with the ordinance. Yeah. This is the building. You can see we have the 404 family, two on the side are still split. We're going to turn to the family for the entryway was modified at some point in time, but they recently put the new door in. I'll show you the door shot. So here's your map, south of Ann. Closer to the windows, obviously if you install vinyl windows, you're going to have the issue where you're going to get that flat appearance. Soon, the window will rectify wrap, can't prove the rust. So an issue of moving original windows or whole windows, again, vinyl flat windows, which obviously against the standard. This is the door, existing door. Obviously it's a new temporary door. It's not just the original door. We know it's there because it's still there. It's great. This is a shot Google showing what was there prior. I'm not saying that this door isn't better. I'm saying it's not good. It was there before. It was not very good. Either the new door installed is not good. First up, windows on a public facade. They have to be original windows or ones to match the original. Obviously, installation of vinyl windows is not compliant with standard. We have 14 total windows here. If you install vinyl to change the character of the building in a specific way, wrapping the brick will have the effect of flattening out these windows, which already have some depth now, because you have perfect windows. Second, door requires that if you're going to replace it, it needs to match the original or be based on modern sample. We do have some existing doors in the other unit. We know it was there. We know this door is not compliant. The entryway has been modified at some point in time. We can't make it a modified entryway, but the door should still be compliant with the place. So obviously that is not a compliant door. The neighborhood is here. They will speak on their behalf in inspection. So in conclusion, the door installed is not a compliant door. These closings are vinyl, and they would not replicate the appearance of the storage with dash windows, and would have a detrimental effect of the overall appearance of the building. Staff recommends that the board uphold the inspection denial application if the door and windows do not comply with any height or district.
Questions, commissioners? Thank you. Okay, the appellant is present. Mr. Graham?
put the door in. I was supposed to get a permit.
Let's go to record first. Tell us your name, please.
Donald Graham.
Where do you live, Mr. Graham?
I can't hear that.
Where do you live?
2215, 2217.
Is your testimony going to be the truth?
Yes.
Proceed, sir.
I got the door at Lowe's. They said that they would get a permit for it to put it in. And the windows, I still had the window world to come down and put the windows in. And they were supposed to wrap them, and they said, some guy came around and said I couldn't wrap them anymore. So, I mean, I was unaware of the historical area because I've been living there for 43 years. And maybe it's with the line, but I don't remember them telling me that. And there's guys all up and down the street that got vinyl. So I didn't think too much about it.
Quick note, there are, with a application approved 4 windows on the side and rear, so they have a permit to do work on the side and rear. So, you know, that he understands that there, you know, was a permit to do exterior work.
I'm sorry, so there was a pre-existing permit at the same time or prior?
It was the same, around the same time period. I can't tell the exact timeline, but there was a permit. Window was out there to do some work. I think that everybody saw what was going on, and obviously the contract, you know, told the furnace to work. They came back and got permits for the side and rear, which is okay to do. They also at the same time applied for a permit for the front windows, which was getting a bearing. At the same time, the door was installed. Not Window World, Mr. Grant. Same with Home Depot.
The windows aren't in there.
No, front is proposed.
I was trying to get something that I didn't have to have maintenance on because I usually do all my work and I'm sick. I can't do it anymore. I'm on a fixed income and I don't know if I can afford to have everything. Because I got a cancer grant and it comes up in April. I don't know if they're going to renew it or not. So I don't know if I'll be able to do it. So that's why I want to get my windows in before they came up.
Sorry. I don't... Tell me that argument again, please.
Pardon?
Tell me the argument again. You're going to put the
I
window...
can't hear.
What is a cancer grant?
Would you like to see it?
No, I'd like to know what it is.
Yeah. That's through comprehensive cancer care, comprehensive care, and it's, let's see, it's due in April, I think. It is. It's due in April, the 15th, 4/5/2014. That's when that last one was. The last one I'll have to get a grant for the next 12 months. I'm on a fixed income. If you want to see my papers, I'll give you let you see that. That's why I'm up here.
So have you paid for these windows already?
No, I haven't paid them, but I've got it set aside for them. Because I've called them before and asked them. And they told me $189 plus the rent. They give me a price on it, and I take it.
What would the difference be between compliant windows and the windows that you're planning on?
I got 3 bids. You want to look at it?
Why don't you tell me what they are?
Huh?
Tell me what they are.
Ground molding is $52.82. And that's not that. That's just the foot and frame that. they want, 30,000 for 10 windows. That's wrapped, for the new seals at the stations and everything put in. Crown, I think 6, I got 6. Ship was 10,684. That's not wrapped. That's just a window frame setting there.
Now, just deferred 1 month because when they were here last time, they didn't have any information like this. So I gave the information for window info to the contractor to help Mr. Graham out, get some of these bids together. Then he hold this, I mean, he's pretty high. I mean, there's another one there he could maybe try to get instead of once he's 30K or some windows, that's Cadillac. We're not saying Cadillac there. And we're saying you can start compliant windows that are very affordable. And those are Crown's an affordable window. I mean, 5,000 windows, that many. Not unheard of, but
Windows so far gone that storms would stop.
I don't believe that's the case at all. I would say that the shape, they're old, it could be spruced up, of course, and storm would be great.
Can you put storm windows on the front of the building?
Yeah, as long as they put in the brick mold and they line up with the meeting room. Yeah, we could.
I have one for Window World. That's wrapped and everything. It's $3,840.
Sir, have you considered storm windows as a solution for this problem?
Well, I already considered it because I was trying to get away from maintenance because I do most of my maintenance anyway on my building. And I'm 84 years old and I can't get up on the ladder anymore.
Right.
And I'm on a fixed income. I got Social Security and a teacher's pension. It comes to $2,900 a month. So, if I don't get that grant, I'm gonna have nothing to do.
Any further questions? Did you bring anybody else with you?
Pardon?
Did you bring anybody else with you to testify?
Yes, Window World,
I came to drive them. Can I ask real quick, do you get income from the neighboring unit?
Pardon?
Do you get a rental income from the neighboring unit?
Very, very little. You know how rental is. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't.
How much do you tell the board?
Pardon?
Can you tell the board how much you get?
I get 600. But they don't pay like that, and I got one moving out right now.
Okay, Mr. Window, tell us your name.
Steve. Steve Meeks.
And your address, Steve.
7100 Coronado.
Is your testimony going to be the truth?
Yes.
Any question?
What about storms, Steve? Did we solve this problem with storm windows?
A lot of the existing windows do not have storm windows, correct? The wood sashes, a lot of them are rotted where the glass is just falling out. Storm windows could go on if brick molding and things like that were repaired on them. Where we came in is we originally bid them out the whole house for all the replacements, unaware that it was a historic district. He ordered the windows, they went in that day, it was stopped. We filed for the sides and the back to get done, they were done. We had 10 windows that were made up that he was not charged for. We just charged him for the sides of the back, and I agreed to help him, get here to make his case.
What is the least expensive compliant way that this problem can get fixed?
From the 4 bids that he received, there's two differences, what he wants done and what's compliant. So, his goal is maintenance-free, and most of the options, other than Anderson, which seems to remove the whole entire frame, do something flat in there from what I can understand. All the other options were wood window and fit to the existing frame, which was the issue for him because he cannot any longer paint. So Crown was the most affordable of the four estimates that he got, coming in around $5,200, but it was a non-energy efficient window that was sitting right within the existing frame, so there's going to be less of the ground.
Well, this were your house, and you had to comply, what would you do? You know, because it's not a compliance, especially on the front facade, you know, so that...
Sure, if I was aware that there was historical compliance,
Now you are, but you're aware now, you are, okay?
Being aware of that, I would comply. I can vouch for him, he did not know, and I can vouch for myself, I did not know. We do know now, and we are, as you will see, bound for permits in McKinley Heights and stuff. But at the time, we did have a map of the historical district. The map that we had was, so I couldn't bring it to his attention at the time. But yes, I would comply, knowing what's involved now, for sure. But
with the tin windows in front, could you do something that's reasonably priced? And I know they'll have to be painted and things of that sort, but what would you do?
To be honest, given the look of his house compared to all the other ones, I think we'd be doing a great service to the community. There's every house on the block either has the old windows or old variation vinyl replacement, and his windows are falling apart. Yeah, a much more presentable look than it currently is. As far as the door, I don't know what to say about that.
Steve?
Yes.
Travis, the 10 windows that he was not charged for, what was the cost on those?
Approximately $3,900.
$3,900. And then the next least expensive compliant window is $5,200, but it is not energy efficient and it's wood. And to get a maintenance-free compliant window, what was the cost on that?
$30,000.
For 10 windows?
Through Anderson, yes. That's the bid, yeah. I did not assist with the bid process.
Oh, okay.
So,
so the $5,200 that was quoted, is that something from Window World, or?
We only sell vinyl products. So,
I see.
So it was through a company called Crown.
Gotcha. Okay. But he has not been charged for the 10 windows? Okay.
Information on the grant that he's talking about, is that money that he's going to see to pay for this window?
My name is Mark Reed. I live at 2052 Russell, and I swear the truth. A comment first before I start. Window World has worked in our neighborhood before, and they have been cited that this isn't a short code neighborhood, and that vinyl windows are not allowed. Also, I think we're not comparing apples and oranges here when we talk about the bids that Mr. Graham has presented. Anderson windows obviously is a very, very expensive cents a window, it's the top of the line. And I'm not sure the other two quotes that he got, the one for $3,000, one for $5,000, were not also vinyl windows. So I don't know if he has another quote for a energy efficient compliant window, other than the one for Anderson. I have a letter that I'd like to read into the record and then get to the court. The McKinley Heights neighborhood local historic code has been in place for over 5 years, and before it was made an ordinance, according to law, there was notifications of the pending action as well as open public forums to explain and discuss what was in the code and the effects of such a code on our neighborhood. And yet, installation and renovations occur that are in direct defiance of these codes. Non-complying vinyl windows, doors with no model example, and double front doors removed and replaced by a single door installed in a different position than the original door placement are all contrary to our local historic code. The recent installation of new windows or proposed new windows for and removal of doors and transom at 2215 17 Indiana violates section 203.1, 204, and 204.1 of the local historic code. The owner has removed the two original front doors, replaced them with a single non-conforming model, and has completely eliminated transom over the front door. If you look at the front doors, on the other side of the once four-family unit, you can see how very different the primary facade has been altered from the original and in violation of the above-cited code. If community building standards are allowed to be skirted and modifications made that do not comply with the existing models, then we have no standards and our local historic code is not valid. As chairman of the McKinley Heights Neighborhood Development Committee, I respectfully request this body to deny any variations that would allow vinyl windows in this situation, and that the door be replaced with one based on existing model within the same building, and it be repositioned in its original location. I understand the situation Mr. Graham is in terms of the financial restrictions, and it's a very difficult place to be, but if we continue to allow these kinds of variances, soon we have a neighborhood that has no historic value. They're just a bunch of brick piles with vinyl attached to them. So I would strongly recommend that this be denied. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Just one. Mr. McGee, would you see that Mr. Graham gets a copy of that letter?
Yes, I will.
I don't think he heard all of the testimony.
Okay.
Thank you. Rocco Dana?
Good afternoon. My name is Rocco Dana. I live in McKinley Heights.
Address?
2325 AM.
And your testimony?
To the truth.
Excellent.
Fair enough. I wrote a letter that I'd like to submit to the board. I can read it now. That's all right.
Yeah, good.
And I'll give a copy.
If you don't want to the record, you'll hand it to Donna. If you want to read it into the record now, you may.
Okay, thank you. So I live and work in the historic McKinley Heights neighborhood. I was very much involved with the Community Association and Development Board. I own Elevate Development. I developed 9 buildings in McKinley Heights, 7 in the 2200 block of Indiana, which we're discussing right now, including one where I currently live, which is right there adjacent, even though it's on Indiana. It's right there. Each of my developments follow respective historic code guidelines. And you know that because I've never been to this board meeting before. By following the historic code, my buildings are assets to our community, and because of this, the area sees increased property value in our block, which has allowed me to continue to rehab the block. And the increased population of those buildings has led to a reduction in crime in the federal overall community. I know, and like Mr. Donald Graham well, I know him in passing. He's a neighbor of mine. He's very friendly with my wife and children, as I am with him. A number of months ago, I was driving up to the 2200 block of Indiana, and I saw Window World about to install vinyl windows on the front facade of Donald Graham's building. Knowing Mr. Graham and concerned for his well-being, and that he had been taken advantage by Window World, not respecting our historic code, I quickly pulled over and tossed it down in his family room. I was concerned for his well-being and did not didn't want what has happened to a number of neighborhoods by other window installers being pulled into court and forced to replace the windows with wood after the fact, essentially paying for them twice. The installation on the front of the building was put to a stop at this time, which you have other people have testified to. It's later brought to my attention that Mr. Graham was applying for a variance for these windows, and now for the door too, which is also a violation. I'm surprised by this. Day in and day out, I work to do the right thing by my building, respecting my neighbors and respecting the historic codes in place. I'm surprised by the statement made by the gentleman from Window World. The buildings that I rehab on the block, which I guess you guys didn't pay attention to, have wood historic windows replacement, and they cost approximately $500 to $600 a piece installed. So I'm not really sure. I'm very surprised by the $30K number, and I think we all were as well. And a lot of these windows don't need constant maintenance and things like that. Yes, they do need to be paid attention, painted, every decade or something like that. I think the big difference is that a vinyl window is permanent. Vinyl does not decay. It is forever. And its installation of vinyl windows in a non-historic area is a permanent change to our neighborhood and our historic code that will long outlive us. And I think that is stronger than one isolated situation, in my opinion. I ask for the board to help in continuing to keep our historic community historic by continuing to enforce the historic code that McKinley Heights has worked hard to adopt. Thank you.
So, I keep hearing this figure of 14 windows. There's 4 basement windows, I guess, located in place.
That was the application, 14, that was the application, 14 windows. I mean, if they're saying now it's just the 10 windows, the application was for 14 windows.
Okay. So, because I'm trying to calculate this out, so Window World says that they were going to do it for 38, 40. That's the one you just gave us, that it would, if I do the 14 windows, it's $8,400, otherwise it's like $6,000. So I guess it's between 38, 40, and 6,000, or maybe even 500.
So you testified that there was 10 windows that you were going to be replacing on the front, correct?
The basement was part. Okay. So it's between $5,000 and $6,000, according to you, based on what you've been doing with your building.
Yeah, it's approximate. We install our own windows as well, so we get them from Rivertown, Cape Girardeau. They have very good prices, and they do. A lot of other companies use them to do their windows.
Any chance you might bid on your friend's work?
I think that would be a possibility. That would be up to Mr. Graham. I'd be more than willing to help him out. I have done other window jobs, including my own in the neighborhood, and so I'd be more than willing to help him do that if he would like to do that. So I don't know if he's up for that, if he wants me working on them. So.
Does that company get you out of the doors as well?
Yes, they do. They do doors as well. And it's hard to tell from the pictures there, but the glass in the window is a stained glass, this window is. There are no stained glass windows in the historic area in McKinley Heights in the doors. So, it's more of a suburban look than an urban look. So,
They don't have triangular pediments either.
That's absolutely true. It's true.
Any questions? Commissioner?
Thank you.
Commissioners, I have rarely heard a presentation in which I found all 4. People, both compelling and candid. But, let's go to the motion. Which I think is clear.
I got a question. Bob, about that door.
So the thing with the door is, in all due respect, it's configuration has been in place since late 2011, and staff has no recourse to alter the surrounding of the door. The door itself is all we can really act upon. If we're going to go to Hobby Corp, we have no say at all to modify the surroundings. The site itself we could deal with. We have no way of making him change, the configuration back to the two. Pushing it back, we have no way of doing that. But the door itself, we do have. Again, I understand you're saying it's not appropriate to modify it. It's in the lease 2011. We have no way of making modify it in any way. There's no way that we can do it.
Tony, would you like a motion?
I move that the Preservation Board uphold the direction of denial to propose line of windows, install front door, do not comply with the Kinley height.
Is there a second, Commissioner?
Second.
Second. Discussion? Rebecca?
Sounds like I guess we should just adjust on the way out.
But the testimony that I heard obviously was that there were some financial issues, but I also heard testimony that the difference here could be 3840 versus 5,000. If there is income producing
A point in it. Commissioners, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All commissioners present vote aye. Motion carries. Direct denial is upheld. Bob, you will explain that?
Yeah, we're talking about.
Thank you. Okay, there is a listed special agenda item. Jan, thank you.
Well, it's everybody.
She doesn't care about fun.
You know,
This is the high point of the meeting. I've been waiting years for this presentation.
not as long as I have.
No one has waited as long as you have.
It's true.
It's just so real.
But it's true.
Hang on one second. You want to take a quick break?
Okay, well, after, as we said, many years, the Culture Resources Office received a grant supported by the State Certification Office to identify all flounder structures within the city limits. And this is an introductory to explain that project. Once we have completed our work, we will have the second public meeting, which will hopefully have all. So tonight, we are talking about finding flounders. We have just started our survey. The first question is, although I'm talking to the choir probably, what is a flounder? It is defined as a single-family building or outbuilding with one side wall that's higher than the other, and that wall is no. Is it a flounder? Is it a half flounder? Is it a half house? It's half of a flounder, and I guess it has some relevance to the shape of the building. So that may be the derivation of this term. But there's another one that came up recently, and that is that flounder has eyes only on one side of his body. And so flounders have openings on both sides. Take a try.
Let's put that slide back. I want a picture of that. Okay.
Alderman, you're up again.
One is going.
Why did we decide that flounders were important? If I never wanted to just so on. And one of the reasons that little house on the left of the street, Alderman committed to breaking into it. This was a house that we were hoping to save and rehabilitate as sort of an instructional project. And we actually had a developer that was interested in kind of taking it on, but unfortunately a windstorm took most of it down before we were able to do that. You'll notice that there is another flounder to the right. That one, what it looks like today, it has a few come up. But the other thing is we would like to promote the idea of these being viable little buildings for a single, couple, small families. And in doing so, try to save as many of them as we can.
Could you get a picture when there wasn't a whole bunch of vehicles and others jumped from the side of the car?
I don't know. This is right after they got excited, probably. Okay, so flounders are a fairly rare resource, not as rare as we have thought, but they exist primarily in Alexandria, Virginia, several 18th century examples in cities on the East Coast, and we have an awful lot of them. When we applied for the grant for this, we expected to identify a total of 50 to 80 flounders within the limits of the city. Currently, we have, drum roll, and we're only about halfway through.
We don't need to save them.
Oh. Overlook that. So, this is a shot from Compton Drive, which is a very valuable resource for us. The photo of the atlas dates from 1875. What I've done there is colored in about a 6-block area of Soulard, all the flounder village. I missed some. So, it's not entirely accurate. It gives you an idea of the density that one sees. And interestingly, in Soulard and a few other blocks, that density is still terrible. We are looking at flounder houses. We're also looking at outbuildings where we can identify them and find them. There are not very many of them. What we are not looking at are flounder L, and the L extension to the back of the building, unless we can be sure that it started out as its own individual. So most of these L's you see were built as part of it. And those who have been overwhelmed by that. Of course, everybody thinks the flounders is being brick. There are frame flounders. Most of these have suffered a lot of alteration inside. There are not as many as there were because these, of course, are deteriorated. But there are a number of them that are still there. Just very quickly, the different property types that we found with the flounders. We have 1 story and also 1 story with a loft, 1 story, 1.5 stories, 2 stories, some with loft, some with a half story. Many flounders are located out in front or built in street-facing buildings. Some may have created the street grid and therefore don't adhere to the property lines, and many were built in the center of the building, the center of the site. And of course, these alley buildings. There are also semi-detached farms. They're not split. And raised beds. So there actually is split space. Skip flounders. Skips is in front. Rest of the building is your traditional flounder roof shape. Gamble flounder, Millington West, of course. This is a great little example. And Fallstrand flounder. There's flounder back there. And then we have these guys, which are very prevalent, and we don't really have a name for them. We're kind of calling them gable stuff right now. Anybody has a better idea? I'm sorry?
Are these on the same neighborhood?
No,
The gable flounders?
yes, they're scattered all around. You see the Stuhler Bend Park, Hyde Park, they're all over. So if somebody has a better term than a gable flounder,
I am pretty sure those are the same.
okay. have flounders with side galleries, and flounders with walls that hide the side galleries. Often shown in the video. And kind of don't really look like flounders. And then we have a couple of oddities that we see so far. The one on the left, I'm calling it a Siamese flounder. Like flounders. And this one on the right is really back-to-back. It has an absolutely solid form on either end, but it's back-to-back rather than side-to-side. That's the And my favorite, and I'll end with this, is in mid-century modern times. Nina, you should know this one. It's frontless. As I said, the frameless have had a little hard luck more than the brick one. But we're very excited about the project, and I'm going to turn this over to Bob to talk about our survey technique.
That's the gruntwork calls for the entry. You're all really surprised by that. Gruntwork.
Wait. Did somebody bring that little tiny violin?
Yeah, right. How we do this, just to give you a perspective about what we do. Ani and I have been going out with our lovely intern, we call her lowly intern, Lorraine. And what we do is we have it kind of separated into by neighborhoods. This is our map that we get area done, we fill it in with accomplishment. So, south, we have, like Lafayette Square, you have Henley Heights, you have Soulard, get the area done, we fill it in. So, this is part of phase one. And if you look at the map here, that's the phase one, where it's about the most concentration of the flounders. Obviously, the big part in the middle is downtown. I can find anything there. But that is phase one.
And that's for the 260.
And and actually not even done yet. We haven't gotten past done or Dutch done. It's not even finished yet, and we still have to get 260-ish. So, way to go. The problem is, outside of phase one, we have these two outliers that are making our lives living hell. The one on the left is in deep Quran Lake, and it's actually attached to a front house. We know that it predates the front house. That one's way out in front left, helps out. The guy on the right is that freaking the Causland in Southwest. So it's way out. It's way out. So it flows out of the water, which means you have to go up every street, every alley, try to find it because.
But you love it.
Great. My tires love it. I've only gotten 14 punctures. Great. So what we do is we literally go up every alley, every street, because they really are just hidden everywhere. The false front flounder, great to say. Behind that, there's one tucked in there. It's before the Dutchtown area. It's tucked in an alley, and you would miss it if you had to go down the alley. And you got to go down every one. And you have to go down things like this. First glance, you may think it's having a flounder, but actually that rear part, in addition, you look close, there's a line that shows it's been added on later. You turn the corner, you can see that actually it was a full flounder, or a quarter flounder cheese. I'm calling it that. That's that. And then what we do is we find a building, we get a photograph of all the sides, make sure we can do a complete identification of all the windows and doors and all the features of the building. Yeah, same thing. Get all the sides, everything. This one's over in Lafayette Square. Cool. We've got a series of additions over the years. There's kind of two more tucked back in. There's three looking room. Kind of cool. There's three flounders together. You get all the sides to make sure that you're not. In the field, we have these tablets like this, that we're right here. We got to fill all this stuff out. So if you think your job is awesome, in my car, looking through these things, clicking on stone foundations for 85 times a day. It's great. This is what we do in the car. Then we get back, obviously we call it the official form from the state. You can put the picture in, it's really cool. And it's complete, correct? And eventually we'll add in the history portion, finish out. That's where Gagan takes it.
We are doing ownership and history research on 10 founders for the first phase, and eventually conducting the title search, the assessor's plat map, starting point, they go to the page for the assessor's records. Each dot that he did is filed with records between grantor, grantee information, all the text deed is and reference to that deed. Following these records sometimes difficult due to missing records, typos, references. Occasionally a typo in reference can be remedied by listing it nearby pages. Probate records can also make things difficult if they can multiple owners, which makes it while it's not always possible to determine the date of construction of the records, it's helped narrow down the period. Also, you can sometimes narrow further by the by map. These themselves rarely provide an extra information on the building. Current assessment records only extend back to 1807. In one case, we had a reference to records and a deed filed in 1804. To research this further, the archive where they have records before 1807 and grantee indexes, which are good by year. They have to really have some sort of reference to get back to their name and approximate year. And then they also have the book, which has the photo above, that are a little difficult to read, but in looking for one, I actually found a deed that I think is actually for other founders of Block. In most cases, the building permit is not particularly helpful in existing in buildings, as information doesn't come back that far, and if they're using, they don't have access. Geo St. Louis data for these buildings are not very reliable. They tend to be listed as 1881, 1888. They would don't really have any space for that. They didn't. So we can't really rely on
Like a little anecdote, I did some of the research on this building. Next to where we encounter, we do this research as well. The one on the left, on 9th Street Boulevard, and started going back, I got the 1940s disease, and it referenced the wrong page. So all of a sudden you go in there, and I found it, and I was like, this is gone. These are really nice. That was really helpful. They figured this was wrong, wrote it down wrong. Crap, we lost it. So she goes, I'm going to look through every page of the slide. It's like 98 pages. And I went back to work, and she called me because I found it. They wrote it down the wrong page, like 6 pages later. So they found it for us. But I got this one back to 1889 to a Soulard. That's pretty cool. It says A-H or A-Y Soulard. The last note for that one. So that was 1889. It's on the Continent Drive, so it's 275. The Geo called it 1880. So again, these dates are all over the place. That was cool.
And one of the other ones that I did, we found out that it was actually been leased by Thomas Allen, who wanted to subdivide that area. And we didn't get it back to his ownership, but it got back to and apparently he actually leased a lot of land in 2 years' time. And so bonus that archive. So we don't have any firm dates.
It's going to be hard.
I'm still looking for the one.
Is there any way that you all could publish something like this for the newspaper? I just think the public would love to know what you guys do in your spare time on your work. I mean, this is wonderful, and it's just preliminary, and, you know,
Well, there'll be a hopefully comprehensive survey report in the grant. Document everything we've been able to find out. preliminary report.
Well, they refer to county records, that goes to the county, so it would kind of pop through all that and give a lot.
So we're assuming that those are the older ones were until the 1860s.
So Jan, you found them in the city of St. Louis and you found them in the city of Coronado Lab.
Yes, and the city of Hyde Park.
And any evidence that the fur people up in St. Charles built the same way?
Well, Bob has a theory. He thinks it's related to Germans and Brewers. Yes.
So I just happened to look today, reading a story about a demolition of a German brewery in Covington, Kentucky. I just took Google Earth and plopped it down, saw the building, and turned it around, sure packed flowers. And then I was like, well, I'm going to follow this thread. And I looked up Yingling Brewery, oldest brewery in the country. And sure enough, in Potsdam, Pennsylvania, you see kind of floundered elk. So
But elk don't count.
Elk don't count, but the form is there. So obviously you got something going on. So, I mean, it's nothing it's because of the brewery, but obviously it's the German culture of the thing that's along with it. So, interestingly enough, they're out there. And they're in Cincinnati as well, near the old the brewery. They're also kind of area over the Rhine area. That's the brewery right by.
But I would say we probably have more.
We have way the most diverse stock
We
and
have more than
Alexandria.
Really much.
And Charleston, South Carolina has a lot too.
Now, if you want to expand to all, take it right on.
Go for it.
Been working with a farmhouse in North Central County that has, it looks like it's a flounder, rear L, but you think that the flounder portion is actually built into and it was, you think this is going to be sort of again.
I would love to touch on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's way more.
But a lot of these you can see are built on for urban lots. And the line wall is meant to be up there. To give as much yard space as possible. I think very few cars are going to turn out to be.
No, I think of it a year and a half too late. Instead of sending the region out looking for fiberglass birthday cake, we should have sent them out looking for flounders.
Right.
Then it might actually have been useful. I mean, there were people who found all of them. And that's pretty...
We've gotten pictures of all the stones.
Exactly right. Is that our presentation? That was excellent. Excellent, excellent. Commissioners, do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
To adjourn.
Without objection, we stand adjourned. Thank you.